Hi everyone! Thank you for watching our Batty over Bats video. This video is intended for viewers in 1st grade through 5th grade, but anyone interested is welcome. Join us as we explore what makes a bat, where bats live, and more. Have you ever been outside just after sundown and saw something flicker above the trees? Almost too fast to see? Was it a bird, maybe out past its bedtime? Or maybe it was a bat getting started on its evening meal. Bats are nocturnal animals, meaning they sleep during the day and they're active at night. They're also mammals, just like us. Mammals are animals that have fur, or in our case, hair, and they're warm-blooded. When mammals have babies, they are born alive, not in an egg, and they need to drink milk. Bats take care of their babies just like we take care of ours. But unlike us, bats are able to fly. Bats are the only mammal in the whole world that can really fly. That might be confusing if you've ever seen a flying squirrel, which can be found in Indiana. Flying squirrels don't really have the right name, because they don't really fly. They can jump from tree to tree and spread out their arms to glide through the air, but they can't actually flap their arms and fly like bats or birds can. Can you think of some examples of mammals besides humans and bats? How about your pet dog or cat? Or maybe a really big mammal like a giraffe? Or a tiny mouse outside scurrying around in the grass? Mammals big and small may look really different from each other on the outside, but we have a lot in common. Like we talked about a couple minutes ago, mammals are warm-blooded and furry, but we also look pretty similar on the inside. Look at the pictures on the screen. The girl has her arm outstretched, and the bones in her arm are different colors. Her upper arm is red, her lower arm is orange, her wrist is yellow, her metacarpals are green, and her fingers are blue. Stretch out your arm and feel each of your bones. Wiggle your fingers and watch your metacarpals move under your skin. Now, take a look at the bat. It has the same bones in its arm that you do. They're just different sizes. Its upper arm is about half the size of its lower arm, whereas yours are about the same size. It also has super long fingers compared to yours, and they make up most of the wing. I guess you could say that bats fly through the power of jazz hands. Bats in Indiana can live to be 6 to 10 years old, which is about the age that you are now. In comparison, humans can live to be over 100 years old. Adult female bats have one baby a year, and they take care of it until it's ready to live on its own. Can you imagine if your parents only raised you for 1 year? Are you ready to be an adult? Probably not, but bats have it figured out. Indiana bats are active in the spring, summer, and fall when there's plenty of food around. In winter, they hibernate. Hibernation is not sleeping. Instead, it's slowing your body way down until you're barely using any energy. Try and slow down your breathing as much as you can. It's kind of hard to do anything else while you're doing that, right? That's what bats do, and they're really good at it. They hibernate all winter long until it's spring again and there's food outside. Have you ever heard the expression, blind as a bat? It's a little silly because bats aren't even blind. They can see just as well as we can. That means they see really well during the day, and they can kind of see at night. Unlike us, though, bats are awake all night long. Bats learn to use a special skill called echolocation to figure out where they're going since they can't see at night very well. Bats will make a noise and then listen to see how long it takes for the noise to bounce off objects back to them. It's kind of like if you were inside a cave or a small room and you yelled really loud, and your yell would kind of bounce off the walls back to you. Based on how long that sound takes to get back to you, the bat can figure out where things are around it, like trees and even insects flying through the air. The next slide will let you listen to a big brown bat calling out and show you what its call sounds like on the screen. Bats eat different things depending on where they live and what their face is shaped like. Bats in Indiana will only eat insects, and they have sharp teeth and a small round head that help them grab insects right out of the air. Compared to bats that only eat insects, Bats that eat fruit or drink nectar have really long snouts and even longer tongues that help them get all of that mushy fruit and get deep inside the flower to drink nectar. Some bigger bats like to go for even bigger prey. These bats can eat frogs or fish, and they have larger heads, larger mouths, and larger teeth to help them catch their prey. Bats that eat blood are sometimes called vampire bats. Vampire bats sound really scary, but they're not. They don't suck your blood, and they don't attack humans. Instead, they take a small bite, almost like a mosquito bite, on animals. But unlike the mosquito, they do not drink the blood like they're using a straw. Instead, they lick the bite they made, kind of like your dog when they're licking their water from their water dish. We do not have vampire bats in Indiana or anywhere in North America. Bats are found almost everywhere in the world, in rainforests, mountains, farmlands, woods, even cities. Some species only live in hot areas like the equator, where they do not need to hibernate. Others live in places like Indiana, where the seasons change and they do need to hibernate. Sometimes a bat will even live in your attic when they can't find a place outdoors to stay. We have 13 species of bats in Indiana, and they all live in caves and trees. Some bats live in trees during the spring and summer, and in caves in the winter. Others only live in trees in Indiana and migrate to other states to live when it gets cold out. Most of our bats are considered endangered or of special concern. This means that they have really small populations and they're having trouble surviving. Some of them can't find enough places to live and eat. Others get sick and die from diseases. You can learn how to help bats by joining in on projects to help improve their habitat. For example, every October, Ball State University has an event where we cut down invasive plants to make the forest healthier for bats to live. You can join us by contacting Erica Forstater. Her email is on our website and in the description of the YouTube video. When you finish this video, check out the activities on our website. You can color and cut out your own native Indiana bat mask. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.